You join us at the Fairmont Southampton for, I think, possibly one of the most exciting moments of the trip for me, a cooking demonstration from sous chef Nicholas. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. Tell us about what you're cooking for us today.
We're doing a local spiny lobster in a thermidor sauce. The Bermudians love this delicacy. It's seasonal, so it's only part of the year that you can get it, and is ready available until the beginning of March.
Please begin, chef.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to start with a little oil in the pan. I'm going to heat up the pan, and we're going to saute some lobster. Okay, now this lobster is being removed from the shell. The shell is being steamed so that all the meat left in the shell is cooked. And we're going to saute this along with some onions.
It smells to me like you've just added garlic.
Yes, ma'am. Shallots and garlic. And we're just trying to get a little color on the lobster as well. Once we got the shallots a little brown and the lobster's got some brown, we're going to deglaze with a white wine, just a basic table white wine. Okay, and we're going to reduce that.
Is that also to form the basis of the sauce?
Yes, that's the basis of the sauce. We're going to reduce the cream along with the white wine. We're going to add it back into the shell, and then we're going to make a hollandaise sauce quickly and leave the remaining sauce that's in the pan, add it to the hollandaise sauce, and we're going to layer it over the top of the meat, which is already in the shell, and then we're going to glaze it over.
I didn't know you could do such a thing as a hollandaise sauce quickly.
Yeah.
You can if you're sous chef Nick.
A little practice. You don't want to cook it all the way through. You're just trying to get as much color as you can and let it finish in the sauce, because you want it to absorb the wine and the sauce and whatever flavors you have in there, the aromatics.
What's your favourite thing to cook other than this dish? Because you chose what to cook, so I'm presuming you like it.
Seafood in general. I love it. It's fresh. It's the freshest thing we have. Because we're on an island, poultry and lamb and pork, these items aren't readily fresh for us all the time. Seafood is fresh. It's quick one-pan cooking methods, and it always keeps it exciting. So I'm going to reduce that. Okay, so all the alcohol is cooked out of it. And then we're going to add some heavy cream. We're going to reduce it further, and while that's taking on, we're going to do our hollandaise.
Is heavy cream double cream, what we would say? Or
Yes.
That's just reminding you how fattening. Heavy cream.
Now we're going to cook this down on a slow simmer, bring it to a boil and let it simmer, and let it reduce right down, okay? And we're going to add our Parmesan and Dijon mustard in there, okay? I'll add a touch of salt and some fresh ground pepper. Always go with fresh ground pepper. Makes a big difference. Okay. Now onto the hollandaise while that's cooking. So egg yolks. We don't need much. We only need a small amount. And I'm going to touch it with a little bit of wine. Add some celery and a touch of lemon.
And how are you managing to do that without it scrambling?
Well, you got to keep it moving. It's always better over a double boiler, but this is a quick, easy way to do it once you get it down. But yes, you do not want chunks of eggs in there, that's for sure. That will not be nice.
Yeah, normally you do it like over a pan of boiling water.
Yeah, normally you would. But once you get it down and you're only making small amounts, then this is quite an efficient way of doing things.
I think it's a way only a pro is going to pull it off. She'll stick to the old-fashioned way.
Okay, now I'm just going to put that there. Grab a spoon, sorry.
So this is clarified butter?
Yep, clarified butter.
Does that just mean melted?
Yes, well, we melted the butter, and then we draw all the butter solids out of it. So all your milk solids and salt solids, if it's salted butter, all get left at the bottom.
Now that's beginning to look like a...
Together, yeah. It's a little hard for one hand. So you got to keep it together without it splitting. That's the trick. Yeah.
Would it go wrong if you added it all in one go?
All at once, yeah, you would split out. You got to add it in slowly, and temperature's the key. You want the protein to hold the fat, and they do that better when they're at the same temperature. So if I have cold eggs, It's a little bit more difficult if you have room temperature butter to join together. You know, they'll scare each other away. So you want everything to be at the same temperature. That's why a lot of pastry recipes call you for you to take your eggs out beforehand. So
that is looking very
better.
smooth.
Yeah, we got it. It's a little coagulation there, but we'll just work around that. Blast this up. We're just going to make sure it's reduced right down. I'm going to take your shell off here.
Wow.
And we're going to fill these up.
How do you know when the reduction is enough?
Well, you want it to be thick. You don't want it to be thin and watery like a soup because it has to hold in the shell.
There's always a school of debate, the most humane way to kill a lobster. How do you do it, or do yours not come live?
My mom thinks they should be in the freezer, and there's no other way to do it. But I've killed hundreds in a boiling pot, and it does make you feel a little terrible. They say that the squealing noise is actually the shell contracting. But I always put them in the freezer and let them fall asleep first. I think that's the most humane way to do. I mean, you really don't see it. 1, 2, or 3, you know, you cut them open when they're fresh. But when you got to do a couple hundred of them, it gets a little gruesome. So,
I can imagine.
Touch of Dijon. I'm going to turn this right down again, and we're going to add our cheese. If we don't turn it down, we add this cheese, we're going to get burnt on the bottom. This will also act as a bit of a thickener.
That's Parmesan, yeah?
Almost like an Alfredo sauce, but we have the mustard in there, right?
You don't eat this at home every night?
When the family gets together, yes. Lobsters are on the table, fresh fish is going, fresh tomatoes are always around, cucumbers, any fresh fruits that are available, and we just pile it up in the table.
Do you have a signature dish that is Nick's dish?
That's Nick's dish. I do have a snapper dish, which is somewhat along the lines of what we're going to do here. But no, I don't stay. As I said, once I've gotten one thing down, I just move to the next. It's a never-ending learning experience. So a little parsley in here. Now I'm just going to fill these in. And then we're going to go to the glaze. Okay, so this is our glaze. This is your hollandaise and a little bit of cream left in the pan, and we just touched it up so we could fill over. And you basically just go over the top. And this seals it in.
Smells amazing.
You can, right now I would throw this in the oven, but we don't have an oven at this moment, so we just use the burner. And what it is, the egg and the solids in the hollandaise will add extra glaze, will brown nicely, okay? And we just go over the top. Now we're just going to brown it. Okay, and all those yolks in the hollandaise helps give it its nice brown sheen.
Oh, it smells so good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's good. That's why I like seafood. It's always quick, fresh. This lobster was alive half an hour ago, and now it's on your plate, and you're ready to eat it. Doesn't get much fresher than that.
I mean, it's just its natural form is so dramatic anyway, isn't it?
It is.
I would never have thought putting mustard with lobster, or indeed thyme, so we're learning.
Yeah, a little bit. And a twig for garnish. Okay?
Amazing.
That's a $56 dish. Yeah.
Smells amazing. There's no way of doing this in a glamorous manner, so I'm
There
just
is not.
going to have to shovel it in, everyone. Sorry about this. It's really tender, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And that wine is, you can just taste it lightly coming through.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good dish. It's a good dish. I'm always happy with it. It's a great thing to see on your plate. Great thing to have around the dinner table. It really is.
Thank you so much for cooking that. utterly sublime. And do you think this is a dish anyone can attempt at home, or is it just a bit above us normal folks?
No, I think with a little practice, you can get this down, and everybody will be very impressed when you do it.
You can come and cook at my next dinner party, please. Thank you. Thank you.